And as I walked through the rest of the building, I noticed, well, actually, they do have energy efficient light fixtures. And they do have occupancy sensors in the rooms. And also the toilets and the water fixtures are low flow, so they're conserving water. And did anybody notice the smell when you first walked into the building? Or you smell, or what the smell as you're sitting in the room right now? There is no smell. It's no smell. And typically when you walk into a brand new building, you smell that green building smell. And that smell, actually, it's not good for you. Some of the chemicals that go into making the materials and the finishes, they're toxic and they're harmful to human health. And so typically when you walk into a green building, you don't smell anything because it's made with low or no VOC components. So let me move into my presentation. So today I'm going to talk about why green clubs are financially responsible. It's really the only reason that I've seen so far why clubs make green decisions, because it affects their bottom line. And how do I know that green clubs are financially responsible? It's because we're green builders, and we do most of the club work here in New Jersey, club construction work here in New Jersey. In fact, many of you sitting here today, we've probably done renovations in your club, whether you know it or not. And we also retrofit existing buildings to be energy efficient. And we apply maximum free state incentive monies to help pay for it. In fact, we've retrofitted to date over 1,000 buildings in New Jersey to be energy efficient. And we've applied over $30 million of state money to help offset the cost of construction. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But first, let's lay the foundation. What's green building? Green building is environmentally responsible and resource efficient throughout a building's life cycle. That definition comes courtesy of the US EPA. But we take it one step further. We say that green buildings are also financially responsible. And we're going to talk about why. Now, green building is made up of different components. It's not just, you put in energy efficient lights and you have a green building. Sustainable sites, where you decide to build matters. How you consume and conserve water. How you consume and conserve and also produce on-site power. The type of materials that go into a building. The indoor air quality. The amount of daylight that comes into a building. These all go into green buildings. So really, there are three financial benefits that go into green clubs. The first one is ongoing operational efficiency. When you use less water, when you use less energy, that's water and energy you're not paying for. So you're going to reduce your costs just by consuming less. And then also, actually, I think the most important attribute of a green building, which gets the least amount of attention, is increased employee productivity. Because when employees have access to fresh air in a building and daylight, it increases their productivity and reduces their sick days. Many people don't buy it, and that's okay. There are plenty of studies that suggest otherwise, but I think it's the most important attribute of a green building. So the second financial benefit of a green club, I should be more specific, is attracting the next generation membership. Most boards, most leadership of clubs today are baby boomers. And they grew up at a time when energy and resources were abundant and cheap. And so it hasn't been much of a focus. But Generation Xers, Generation Ys are coming up, and the millennials that are going to change the face of the world are going to be, in the next maybe 10 to 20 years, are going to start entering the club world. We hope that we'll be able to attract them. Because if we don't, the golf industry in the country will die. And they have much different priorities. They actually are focused on sustainability. And the reason is because they've been taught it since kindergarten. It's part of them, it's ingrained in them. So if we don't speak to that, we don't transform the club operations and buildings, we're gonna lose out on opportunity. They're also demanding more local, organic, non-GMO foods. And they're also very tech savvy, which I didn't put on here. Oh, looks like we lost the clicker. And the third financial benefit, which our clubs are most interested in, where's the free money? How do I get access to the free money from the federal government, from the state, from local government, and from my utility companies? So we're going to go into that right now. And actually, there's a lot of money out there. Just in the state of New Jersey, there are billions of dollars of free money out there to help incentivize green construction, green building, or energy efficiency retrofits, and renewable energy. And what does that mean? It actually means the state is paying you to lower your energy bills. That's a good thing, but most New Jerseyans have not taken advantage of or participated in these energy programs. It's a little hard to see, but this is another finding from the EPA, is that on average, green buildings use 25% less energy, and they have 19% lower operational costs. So most of our clients say, yeah, that's great and all. I'd like to get started, but I don't know how. I'm going to show you how. These are the steps you take. The first thing is you go back to your club and you gather the last 18 months of utility bills. Has anyone done this yet? Okay, so there are a few people here that have gone through the process. The next step is you assemble the right team. Sometimes it's all of those people in the room together. Sometimes it's your GM, maybe the board, and it's a green or energy consultant. And if you have a club master plan, now's a good time to take it off the shelf, dust it off, and figure out how you can incorporate an energy master plan and green master plan into it. So it starts with planning. Let's review the master plan. Let's get the green consultant or energy consultant on board. Let's parallel a green master plan into that. And let's identify which incentive programs apply to this club. And we want to design to capture the maximum incentives, free money that's out there. Then we create the scope. So actually, most clubs, or at least that we deal with, are 501c3, right? Are most clubs here 501c3? I'm sorry? 7? Okay, well, for any that are 501c3, you can actually get a free energy audit paid for by the state. It's called LGEA. I'm going to get into that. You're going to create an energy reduction plan. You're going to submit for the incentive. You're going to submit all the incentive applications. You receive the approval to upgrade your club, and you perform the upgrades. And then the free money comes. That's when you actually receive the check from the state. Typically once the installation is complete. And it results in lower energy bills. So now a green club is energy efficient, but it's also resource efficient in other ways. And we're going to get to the other resources, but I'm going to focus on energy right now because that's real dollars that the club is spending. And these are the incentive programs that pay for it. This is the free government energy audit I was talking about, if you're 501c3. The next program, by far and away, the most lucrative program that the state of New Jersey has to offer is direct install. Because it pays 70% of the cost to upgrade your building to be energy efficient. It's going to take your existing lighting, heating, cooling equipment, and it's going to replace it with a high efficiency alternative. Let's give you a little example. Here's Rockaway River Country Club. This is in Denville, New Jersey. We upgraded the club. We upgraded new lighting, controls, heating, cooling. The total project cost was $87,000. They received $50,000 from the state. So they were out of pocket $37,500. But the energy savings was $12,800 per year. Total payback of about 3 years. But that's not typical. Most direct install projects pay back within 1 or 2 years. The next program, it's a pretty easy program that you can apply for. It offers fewer incentives, but it incentivizes more equipment. So chances are, if you can't take advantage of direct install, you can take advantage of Smart Start to replace your equipment. And here's another example. Here's Crestmont Country Club. They replaced 86 light fixtures with LED floodlights. And you can see the numbers here. Small project, $4,700 LEDs, $1,700 in incentives awarded. Total cost to the customer is $3,000, but the energy savings was almost as much as they paid for the installation in the first place. So the payback was almost 1.25 years. And actually, I have a true story. I explained the financial savings to one of the members at Crestmont. And he was so excited about the energy savings that he actually got up, he did a little dance, and I happened to catch it on video. You're not going to believe it, it's a true story. That's not Jean-Claude Van Damme. It actually is a member. Just trying to see if you're paying attention. But anyway, no, the point is, our clients are so thrilled when we offer these energy efficiency upgrades and we apply all this free state money because it's real dollars in their pocket. And that was the whole point of that silly video. The next incentive program that would apply to clubs, especially the larger clubs, is pay for performance. And that's what they do. You upgrade the club and they pay you based on the energy savings that result. They incentivize existing buildings, keep going, new construction, and if you achieve 15% energy savings or better, they'll pay you for it. So there have been 176 pay-for-performance projects to date in the state of New Jersey. Guess how many were in country clubs? It's been a zero. It's been a big fat goose egg. I don't know why either, because it's a really lucrative project. So I had to actually pull data from another project. Now here's Wyndham Worldwide headquarters in Parsippany, 200,000 square foot office building. Now the energy conservation measures cost $850,000. They received $350,000. So their total cost was $500,000. That generate $110,000 of energy savings year one, but that's for the life of the equipment. So it took them about 4.5 years to pay back, but they're still realizing those savings year over year over year. Solar still makes sense in New Jersey. It's not as good as it was. The incentives have come down, but the payback is still 5 to 10 years. That incentive program still exists, but clubs generally have been reluctant to install solar, with few exceptions. And what most people don't know is that your utility company, once in a while, pops up with a little incentive program, and then it sells out quickly and it's gone. And they give you no heads up on it. So what we typically advise clients is just go to your utility company's website, take a quick look every couple months, and you just might find some free money there that you otherwise would not have known about. A lot of clubs don't pay taxes, so the tax benefits do not apply. If you do, there are a lot of tax benefits available on the federal and the state and local side, which I don't have time to get into here, but I'm going to give you the resource if you do want to realize those tax benefits. This is a pretty cool new program. It's called PACE, Property Assessed Clean Energy. And what it does is you can read for yourself. It allows property owners to borrow money from the local government to pay for energy improvements. And then it's repaid via a special assessment, so you don't actually have to take out a loan. Most towns have not adopted it yet, but you heard it here first. It's coming. I threw this one in because I'm assuming that most people here are homeowners. There are incentives to upgrade your home. I ran my own home through it, and they'll pay you up to $5,000, and you get access to $10,000, 0% interest financing to make your home more efficient. It's a really good program. My energy bills are half of what they used to be. So now on the non-energy side, well, I guess maybe one little energy point, but there are actually low-cost or no-cost solutions that you can upgrade your club right now and start walking on the path to sustainability, that green master plan. Today, you can actually buy your power from a third-party energy supply for less than you're paying your utility. So you can instantly realize financial savings just by buying your power in a better way. On the water and environmental conservation, the other panelists are much more informed than I am on these, so I'm going to skip through them because we heard a lot already. On the environmental improvements, Jim Moore was talking about expansion of non-turf areas, about native plants, about turf grass upgrades. We have pesticide environmental stewardship program. Keep going. We already talked about this. Nutrient plans. A lot of clubs are adopting a written nutrient plan that their greens committees are following. Water management, I'm going to skip through because it was already talked about. And water use technologies. I actually had no idea that this was going to be a talking point today, but I'm glad that the panelists were able to explain it better than I could. On indoor environmental air quality, how you treat mold and identify mold and asbestos how you properly ventilate the building and you filter the air coming through. Waste management, you know, it still boggles my mind that clubs spend so much money hauling their waste away. And there's so many ways to reduce those costs, and it's very painless, and it can happen right away. If you adopt the right recycling plan, you can compost your own food, or you can get rid of, depending on the town, you can mechanically dispose of that food down the drains. And so you reduce the amount of pounds of garbage that need to be hauled off the site, and so you reduce your costs. Now, I purposely made the font this small so nobody could see it, because I encourage everyone to sign up for the scope. What is it? The scope vision plan. The block vision. So yeah, so I encourage you to do that. No, but I made it small because there are so many things you can do operationally that you can follow Green Master Plan. I don't have time to get into it now, but like a few things would be emailing instead of bulletins, procurement plans, how you source materials, how to throw sustainable events. These are all things I can send you. I can send you a roadmap for how you can operate your club more efficiently. Just email me. I'd be happy to do that. And when you go through the green master plans and these green upgrades year over year, you can take advantage of the PR and the marketing. You can receive local, sometimes national press, and what's good for your club is also good for the golf industry. And you can engage the local community. We heard Nancy and Mark talk about how there's a lot of resistance from the local community at golf courses. There's a way you can bring them in by showing that you're more environmentally friendly. But what do you need in order to upgrade your club? You need an eco champion. If you don't have one, it's not going to happen. Chances are someone in your club is willing to take on that role. You have to engage that person, maybe form a green team, and they will make sure that those upgrades get performed year over year. That's pending you have the funding. But that's also easy to do. You just divert some of your monthly or annual income to this sustainability fund. And year over year, you'll have enough to slowly but surely upgrade your club. So here's some resources. If you want to find out where the energy incentives are, njcleanenergy.com, desireusa.org. You can access USGBC-NJ for best green building practices, and irs.gov for the tax treatment for green buildings. And so I end where I began, and that's that green clubs are financially responsible. If you remember, it's in those three ways. The operational efficiency, we're using less resources, so we're spending less. We benefit from improved employee productivity. And we also help to attract the next generation of membership. And the third financial benefit of a green club comes down to the direct incentives, the billions of dollars of incentives that are available to help you upgrade your club over time.